Hello everyone, welcome to today's video where we'll be reacting to Emkay all slash facepalm laughing cry emoji. All credit in this video will go to Emkay. If you like my... So, by all means, if you're ready to facepalm at society, now's your chance to do so. Let's get right into it.
True, I woke up late. Not that late. I'm not that sad. Facepalm. Okay, yeah, that's fair. Let's see. This restaurant covered up the no-tip
Okay, this restaurant covered up no tip option.
with a sticker to force tipping. Look, I will say, if you do that, I am going to have you remove the sticker. I'm going to hit no tip. I will never be coming back. I am all for tipping. I do it, and I do it well. I really do it well, okay? But if you try to force one, I'm out. Don't do that to people. Americans saw water freeze at 0 Celsius and said, let's make that 32. Europeans saw a guy who was 6 feet tall and said, let's make that 1.89 meters. See how stupid you sound? It doesn't really go that way. One of them came first. I understand Americans might have... Did we create this imperial system? That's the one that we use, right? The imperial system. Did we create that? Was it just a case of we saw what Britain was doing and...
Yep. This is probably room temperature. At least for what I have is room temperature.
went, we're gonna do the opposite. Like how we drive on the right side of the road when Britain, like, moved everything on the left. I know that, yeah, we were driving in the 1700s and beyond. I get that. However, was it one of those things that we saw Britain doing and went, nah, come on, we'll just do the opposite? And it wasn't even just Britain. This has been going on forever. What in the world? Completely unrelated to this, because I do this to myself all the time at this point now. But I had no idea driving on the left was actually, like, a little more rare than driving on the right. I assumed that, like, the US drove on the right, and we were alone in that, no joke. Trump mocked by the Dutch Queen. Oh, dude, that's beautiful. Holy shit. That's my queen right there. Breaking. President Trump boards Air Force One to head to Mar-a-Lago on the taxpayer's dime. This trip will cost us $3.1 million, which could be used by USA to feed 5,000 starving children for a full year. It'll also cost taxpayers 8 times the salary that he donated for the entire year, or about 1/4300th of the fully diluted market cap of his scam meme coin. Congrats, America. You've
Scam meme coin? I don't know much about that.
elected a real gem, a guy that doesn't work a single day. I don't think he's worked a single day in his entire life. But what else is new?
Oh yeah, speaking of working, how today's society is, it's... Yeah, a lot of things affect, to the average employee who some of us work extremely hard for just to receive minimum wage compared to other places who doesn't really work as hard and yet getting a bunch. I don't really understand. I know take from a guy who take from a VTuber who is reacting. I agree with Emkay. What else is new?
Ted Cruz on why we should bomb Iran. Reason 1, it's run by religious zealots who believe the Quran commands them to attack the United States. Reason 2, God says we have to. It's right there in the Bible. Again, look, what am I supposed to say when Ted Cruz slander comes across my timeline? Disagree with it? No, of course I'm gonna agree with it. That dude is a slime cube, okay? There is not much inside that thin veneer of fondant he calls skin. I'm not exactly sure what's inside of the skin cocoon that he's inside, or he's inside. I'm not sure what's in there, but if I had to imagine, it's probably like what's inside of Oogie Boogie, right? Big, beautiful crowds posted 10 minutes before the start of the parade. 1 block over from the White House, the aspirational security line set up. Do you think there's a room like this in the back rooms? Not outside, of course.
Oh, what did I think of it?
Because the concept of there being outside in the back rooms freaks me the fuck out. But do you think there's just a room in there that's a bunch of turnstiles and stanchions and weird lines you gotta get through, and if you skip, something comes after you, right? I think that sounds believable enough. CEO of the largest tech YouTube channels in Turkey, Shift Elite, throwing a pot filled with pebbles at his employee's head.
What?
Okay, all right.
Why? Why? Why?
That's interesting. That's very interesting. Oh, he picked it up out of their weird-ass decor and like that. What a little slime ball, dude. Obama has a foundation. Clinton has a foundation. Biden has a foundation. Bush has a foundation. Trump doesn't. Any questions? Trump doesn't have a foundation because the Trump Foundation was dissolved by court order in 2018 due to multiple legal issues regarding fraud and the mishandling of funds. Trump was ordered to pay $2 million in restitution. Really? Just $2 million? Good Lord. I didn't fully understand the concept of national humiliation until I saw this from Trump's parade. I have no idea what we're about to see, but I am imagining it's going to be utterly fantastic work. Wow. That's crazy.
This is amazing.
Have you ever argued for any reason in any way that the United States government isn't owned by a bunch of companies, which at this point, how in the world can you not see that, right? People have been saying this for like 50 years, 60 years, 70 years straight, about corporations controlling our federal government by and large, okay? But if you still deny it somehow, or you don't see enough evidence of it, why am I seeing the U.S. Army with a giant stage sponsored by Coinbase, okay? I'm obese and refuse to give up my second seat on a plane for a toddler. So she paid for 2 seats. The mother with the toddler didn't. Those are her 2 seats to do with as she pleases. Exactly. So more often than not, I think, aren't they like required? Like if you're big enough, aren't you almost required? Like not like a policy by the airline, hey, if you're fat, you gotta buy 2 seats. But knowing her and her size, she needs the extra room. I'm not sure how you strap into 2 seats, though. Is it possible to do that? I'm not sure the situation exactly. However, if she had to buy 2 seats, guess what? Go f*** yourself. Call your senator, call your congressman. Bankrupting America is not okay. Kill the bill. Okay, dude, the whiplash you get from these...
This is post from Elon. I know he has some controversy. Well, that's a lot of politics in general. Since we have problems, and have like 4 people trying to fix them, that's gonna be new problems. We really need to fix everything. Like, clear up everything. I'm not so entirely what's going on with all the media now. Since usually I get my information through memes or posts like these. Well, videos about these. And I still have no idea what's going on. So this is...
God-forsaken people is crazy. This was the dude that was doing starfish jumps on stage for Trump, not like, what, a couple years ago, max. Pulling out chainsaws. This could have been an email. Good Lord. Is that just all of them?
What?
What's the point of this? What? Is it just so you can get a picture of everybody in one place? But this seems lame as shit. Calling all of these guys in, right? It just feels very, very pointless. It's like a photo op for sure. Because how often are all of these... I don't know who they all are, but judging by the sheer amount of what are those bars on their arms, or are they metals? What I
That looks weird. I think these are people with higher military power. Not so what ranks they are. I see. Guy has one, but a whole bunch of these. Same goes this guy. For names, I have no. I don't know who these people are.
Okay, quick thing. Folks in the military, what are these giant bricks of metals that higher ups tend to have in the military? What do they all mean? And good lord, why are there so many of them? Okay? We are one step away from those guys in North Korea that have 1,000 of them covering their whole body. Starting to get a little weird, right? What are they? But I assume that this is the top brass of the top brass from every branch of the military in one room. Am I right to assume that? That's the vibe I'm getting here. So I don't know why they're all together. This is oligarchy. This is obscene. While 60% live paycheck to paycheck and kids go hungry.
Okay, if it comes to oligarchy, that's from government controlled by a small group, if I'm not mistaken.
Jeff
Bernie.
Bezos, worth $230 billion, goes to Venice on his $500 million yacht for a $20 million wedding and spends $5 million on a ring, while his real tax rate is just 1.1%.
Okay, going to tax out, at least in the US, I don't know it's the same for everyone, but our tax is 0.825. Usually our tax can go to things that will be beneficial. And when it comes to billionaires or rich people, I don't understand. Like we, the lower class, are paying a lot more than compared to the 1%. Like I know I saw a video. It's called Inequality for All. Well, the difference in pay and seat to from from the average working person to CEO is 320 times. That's some real inequality. It's not just work. Like everywhere we go, there's like for democracy is power to the people. So, but we aren't really a true democracy since we're more of a representative, since we have people representing us. Just trying to, like going back to Hobbes, who believe there should be a strong government. But when it comes to Locke believing that there should be power to people just to have our natural rights. Life, liberty, and poverty. What's a unity? Like, I think this was Taylor Swift who flew 13 jets for like a hour or so. Why? Gotta love America. When it comes to other parts of the country, like European countries, I've heard a lot of great things about them. It's anyone who's watching from Europe. What's your thoughts? Like, is everything good there? The compared, compared to all the online resources came across. There's a lot of good things. I have a lot of good things.
Well, have things really improved on the serious billionaire front since the early industrial revolution? Like, we had tycoons that were getting fat in pinstripe suits, you know, the cartoonish representations of the filthiest of the rich, right? Are these, I know these guys are probably richer than those dudes ever could have dreamed, but has the cartoon villainy gotten worse, or has somehow any of this gotten better at all? I'm just kidding. I know it's.
My opinion, when it comes to the witch people, I, I, I want to say was.
Gotten worse. I feel like even back then, those quadrillionaires were still probably paying more in tax and probably more caring for the people that made them their money than anybody today. Certainly than Jeff Chrome Dome Bezos, okay? And look, you only get to make fun of stuff like that when someone has billions of dollars and is an evil person, all right? That's the rules, okay? It's 80,000 BC. You are immortal. The world is still frozen in an ice age. You decide to save $10,000 every day, never spending a cent. 82,021 years later, it's 2021. You still don't have as much money as Elon Musk. Tax the billionaires. I can't remember where the sentiment came from, but quite some time ago, I saw a post online that said,
Okay. Let me. Okay. How many? What is how much taxes does billionaires pay do compared to the average person? The ultra rich are different from you, me. Their tax rates are low. In an new research paper, Berkeley economists found total effective tax rate paid by the 400 richest Americans, the 1%, have declined sharply in recent years. The findings likes of view increasing feels positive debate. Let's see. For the highest colored non-elite, the top 0.0002%, the effective tax rate fell from 30% in 2010, 2017 to 23.8% in 2018, 2020, says the research. The wealthy paid low overall tax because they have to shelter more for the business income from taxes. I now remember, since usually, most likely, is job opportunities. I had now remember, since mainly job opportunities, they quote unquote create. Like Elon Musk, for people, like, he made jobs for people to work him. Same thing goes to the Mark Zuckerberg, like all well-known companies. But still, I'm pretty sure they can spell some for people.
Said, you know what? I get it. Get that bag. However, once you hit $1 billion, as a matter of fact, once you're about a buck below $1 million, let's say $999,999,999, every penny past that number is taken from you and given back to the people to help fund everything that we need to be funded tax-wise, right? You don't get the billion. You've won capitalism. You have enough money for you and all your family's bloodline to continue for 1 trillion years. You really, really do. I agree with that, okay? You don't need $500 billion. You can have 999 million, and then the rest takes care.
Okay, when it comes to the 500 billion, how are you gonna compare that? Like for all the that's for being the 1%. What you gonna do with all that? Like, it's kind of like, even though the U.S. is more representative democracy, you could kind of say it's kind of like auto government. Like, for example, an oligarchy controlled by small, powerful people. Since billionaires can apparently do whatever they want. If they want to go ruin the economy, ruin the planet, they have every right. I don't understand. It's kind of like having sorry, but this is we're watching all slash facepalm. So yeah, we expect it. We're gonna expect some facepalming things.
Of your country. How about that? Does that sound fair? Does that amount of money sound goddamn fair to you? Or do you, for some reason, have like a dietary restriction that requires you to have a few $1 billion up your butthole? What's the real reason you need it? Because the real answer is they don't need it, they want it, all right? This is some Smaug type here, man. Border Patrol agents arrested firefighters fighting Washington wildfires after they asked the fire crew to line up to check their IDs. Dude, leave it to any quote-unquote law enforcement officer to have full ability to read the room and the situation and understand what is going on, and yet fuck with everybody's time just so they can show you.
Wait, what? What is? Yeah, it's all comes to police officers. They think they're above the law. Border Patrol agents arrested the firefighters fighting Washington wildfire, after they asked the fire crew to line up, check their IDs. What? Doing a firefight. Doing a wildfire. Having common sense is apparently uncommon.
Line up to check their IDs. Dude, leave it to any quote-unquote law enforcement officer to have full ability to read the room and the situation and understand what is going on, and yet fuck with everybody's time just so they can show you that they own you, that they are better than you and have more power than you, and they get to control.
Go to which, I know I saw a video, so I'm pausing so I could explain. I don't remember. I don't know if this was visual venture I've watched or some sort of video. Well, it was like an experiment with 10 college students. 5 for prisoners and 5 for police officers. As at the start, everything seemed normal. since they knew they were, since they knew each other well, until you get to the later stages, well, they kind of got adapted to the whole position power. I don't remember what the experiment was called, though. Hopefully, one of you guys know what I'm talking about, or at least trying to talk about. And let's get back to it.
Roll you and all of this other shit, okay? Jesus Christ, who gives a shit if Mexican Americans fly the flag of Mexico in Los Angeles? Mexicans have been in that city longer than any Americans. Do we not teach history at all anymore? Like, what the Name one thing that Spanish-speaking people gave Los Angeles. All right, Swan to Swan. Okay, wait. Say that one more time very, very slowly and see if you can understand what Los Angeles means. Los Angeles. Let's see if you can do it. Can you do it? Now, Los Angeles, what could it mean? While retirement typically occurs after completing a career and saving and investing for it, a new trend is emerging among Gen Z career professionals called micro-retirement. Micro-retirements involve taking a 1 to 2 week break from work every 12 to 18 months. What?
What? Well, retirement typically occurs after completing a career and saving and investing for it. A new trend is emerging. We all know how some trends are. Among Gen Z career professionals called micro-retirement. Micro-retirement involve taking a 1 to 2 week break from work every 12 to 18 months. Huh? How is this beneficial? Like, people can work hours. If they were able to, like, having working over 40, the average work hours is 40 hours per week. So, people need a break. Like for every 12 to 18, I don't know why it's doing this. They think probably beneficial. But for every 12 to 18 months, why? That's over a year. Well, a year to a year and a half for working 7 days a week. Let the people rest.
Gen Z is using micro-retirement to avoid burnout, find grit. That's called a vacation, you dumb bitch. What do you mean, a 1 to 2 week break every 12 to 18 months? That's disgusting. No, I'm gonna be so real with you. We, at minimum, I mean at bare minimum, should be allowed to take 2 months, however we choose, while being paid off every calendar year. Ah, I see. God, what is up with him, though? What kind of serum are they injecting into this man that is keeping him alive? Because I know it's not his Coke Zero and his constant McDonald's. What is keeping Trump going? He genuinely... people say meat puppet a lot because it's funny, right? I am thinking he might actually be one. Let's get crazy.
Is there any details about this? Because I have no idea what's going on.
Conspiracy theorist on this, like MAGA folk did when Biden was elected, right? Where they thought Biden was actually Trump in a mask. No joke. That was a thing. So who's actually behind this mask? I vote it's Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in his real acting debut, which I guess would make Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson a little evil, which I don't see him as being evil. He's probably just maybe a bit of a dick at times, at the worst, right? But not evil at the very least. RFK Jr. takes a dip in DC Creek, known for high levels of fecal bacteria and infectious pathogens. That sounds like something he would do. I'm not
That sounds like a fun. Please do not try this.
surprised. This one was a while ago. Yeah, it was May of last year. So yeah, not really a big surprise that RFK Jr. would probably be, he was probably told that, like, hey man, by the way, there's a lot of doo-doo in that water. He's like, no, I don't think so. I'm gonna take a swim in the water and we're gonna go to a Waffle House afterwards and talk about how vaccines are terrible. Sorry, you only get to make fun of him because he's a bad person. Oh, I'm sorry, everybody. I'm sorry. I shouldn't be able to make myself giggle. That seems lame as hell, but you know what? If you can't make yourself laugh, you'll never be able to make anybody else laugh. So remember that little tidbit of information. Good morning, everyone. I was hoping to get an idea if there was a need in our area for a homeschooling center, a place where you pick your child's homeschooling programs and a group of adults who would see the work get completed during the day. A chance to get out of the public school system without having to give up a parent working and bring in income. Kinda like a day program. It's still just a thought in my head and so many details to go over, but I'd love to see the interest in our town. Bitch, that's called school. Like, I know you want to get them out of the public school system, but it's still going to be better than you, right? I went to a bad elementary school, right? Overall. Like, great teachers, great people working there, but critically underfunded and just bad all around. Absolutely terrible, terrible lesson plans. I didn't learn a whole lot. I mean, they taught me how to read, they taught me how to count, basic math, all this stuff, but it was in the bottom 10% of schools in the nation. I still turned out okay, and I know I turned out okay because I was surrounded by actual professionals who cared about what they did still, and they're definitely better than any family members who would have tried to teach me. I'm just saying, if you're not like a master's holding education specialist, you are not going to teach your kids as well as professionals who are underpaid and overworked to do it. Genuinely. I'm being so serious. Keep them in school because it will be better than you doing it. I was teaching my friend's daughter that antibiotics don't work on viruses. Someone next to us said ivermectin works. I politely informed them that it doesn't, and they proceeded to tell me it also works on cancer. I proceeded to tell them that I am a doctor with degrees in cellular physiology and public health, and that ivermectin does not do this. Their response? I bet you have pronouns too. This is the thought process we're dealing with. That
Even if you can't see it, this is a face palm. Funny, like when it comes to bacteria, those you could use antibiotics for, but viruses, you need vaccines for them. Like, everyone needs proper treatment. But for their response, I bet you have pronouns too. Oh, this is funny.
That does sound a bridge too far for me, but I have to believe it because every time, for my own sake, I do try to play devil's advocate in some way and go, yeah, that happened. I am proven to be wrong, and it did indeed happen. Some people out there, I refuse to believe, are actually that stupid, but they don't. You know what? It's the same thing as fans of football. My American homies, it's just a football game to some of these people. Their team is winning. That's all that matters. They will say anything. They will do anything to keep their team in control. It just sucks. It sucks, dude. It sucks. But hey, there might be some good news on the horizon finally. Maybe. We'll see. A woman who is on her 4th marriage after 3 divorces is petitioning the Supreme Court to overturn same-sex marriage to protect the sanctity of marriage. Sins for thee, not for me. All right. I totally forgot what this woman's name is. I know she got fired from her job. I can't remember what it was. She refused to, what was it? Give out a marriage license to a gay couple or some stupid like that, because any press is good press and these people just want to be famous. That's what they don't care if they're hated by and large. They just want their name to be well known, not for good reasons, just for any reason, really. Caroline Levitt, or Leavitt, I don't know, eating at Mexican restaurants while working to deport Mexicans. I saw Caroline Levitt, or whatever, eating tacos at a Mexican restaurant with her creepily older husband in Fairfax County, Virginia. She's part of an administration that is
Who's she? Caroline Levitt eating tacos at Mexican restaurant with a creepily older husband in Fairfax County, VA. She's part of an administration that is trying to ethically cleanse our countries of vagrants, especially Latino people, but she's consuming their culture as trying to eradicate. This is a facepalm. I'm gonna say, and I want to say again, I don't get how society works. A lot of different perspective, which does help at least kind of adapt my way to think. But sometimes I just don't understand. I don't
is
understand.
trying to ethnically cleanse our country of immigrants, especially Latino people, but is consuming their culture as she tries to eradicate it. How many of the staff have family members in hiding because of her? How many have had family deported because of her? Pure hypocrisy. Also, you can see the cheek filler injection mark on her face. She's against gender-affirming care for trans people, but when it's her, it's fine. God damn, why do people get that stuff done? Like, never mind. Nasty ass person.
I have. Oh. What?
That's just cringe as shit. An 11-year-old Michigan boy was expelled from school for a year after he took a gun away from a classmate, disarmed it, and disassembled it, according to his mother. He's now enrolled in a non-accredited online program as he tries to keep up. Man,
Wait.
if this is...
Props to this. 11-year-old Mexican boy. Round applause. No, like, actually, this for being the guy who stand up to dismember the weapon to protect people, but yet he's the one getting punished for it. Even if I am not saying you could tell the face palm. Hey, bravo.
the next level of fighting back against a bully and being punished while the bully doesn't. That's insane. What happened to the other kid?
Yep.
What happened to the kid that brought the gun? Are they having to deal with this bullshit? Or was it just the kid that saved the day? ICE forces U.S. Army Purple Heart veteran to deport after taking 2 bullets in combat. Se-Jun Park miraculously survived being shot in the spine, then given 3 weeks to deport to South Korea. Will miss dying mother's funeral, then his daughter's wedding. Was legally in the U.S. under deferred action. Ain't that
ICE forces U.S. Army Purple Heart to deport after taking 2 bullets in combat. Hats off to that guy. Oh, please forgive me, I mispronounced it. Se-Jun Park actually survived being shot in the spine, then given 3 weeks to deport to South Korea. Will miss dying mother's funeral, then his daughter's wedding. Give this man a break. Was legally in US under deferred action. Not too familiar what that means. Purple Heart received variety deported after 48 years in US.
Yeah, great. Ain't that just fantastic? Just add another thing to the stained reputation. And I mean its entire now 250-year reputation. Just add another stain that will never be forgiven for, and shouldn't be, quite frankly. We're always going to need to work to be better as a nation. It just sucks that stuff like this sends us back so far. Not to say that we've ever done great. I think the citizens do a pretty good job of just being good people by and large, right? That's a phrase I've been using a lot today. But by and large, I like the citizens a lot. But I don't think our government has ever been worth a or tried truly once to show that the US can be better than its slave-driving roots that built it, okay? We might get there someday, but it just sucks that this continues to happen, man. The best thing about the US refusing entry to a Norwegian student because of this meme is now every news agency across Europe is sharing this meme. Well, I really doubt that they were actually expecting the image to just go away. Also, didn't he dress up as one of these dumbass caricatures for Halloween? That's the only brownie point he gets. Look, I will say, I think I said it back when he was doing that. If JD Vance was a normal person who actually cared about people at all, and he did that, it would have been so endearing, so cute. You know, it's like if people were making fun of Mamdani, you know, making fun of him and doing weird caricatures of him. If he dresses up as one of those caricatures for Halloween, I'll love it. That's great. But all this guy gets is one brownie point against a billion negative points because he's a piece of Marines giddy at the opportunity to beat up protesters. I hope the protesters realize Marines don't play games, especially the ones from 29. Shut up, you little Sorry, that one was a little mean. Whoa! Sorry. The goblin mask popped on. Dude, I know nothing. That's what I know. I know nothing. But it is incredibly cringe when, I don't know, it seems like the guy joined the military so that he would have some sort of reason to think that he gets to threaten people. Like, sure, this dude could absolutely whoop my ass. I didn't join the Marines. I decided to do a very manly profession. I read memes and make gameplay videos and do acting. Very gay stuff, right? I did not choose to be physically and verbally abused for many years of my life and sign away my citizenship, so to speak. I mean figuratively, unless it is literally still. Anyway, how are you guys? How are you?
Yeah, how's everyone doing?
Breaking! The Nobel Committee quietly removes Trump's name from Peace Prize nominee list. Could they have done it loudly? Why did we need to do it quietly? Do that proudly. This is a real photo of Donald Trump at the Kennedy Center today. Embarrassing doesn't begin to describe this display of idiocracy. It's weird because it doesn't look real. The vast majority of images I see of him do not look real at all. This one also does.
I do know he did do some AI generated posts that does strike some controversy.
Does not, but wouldn't surprise me at all if it was. Arizona iced tea has been forced to consider raising their prices from 99 cents for the first time in over 30 years due to Trump's tariffs. I get it, I do. I don't fucking care. Like, I love Arizona. Their CEO is an interesting guy. You know, they've stuck to their guns their entire history, and I appreciate that. This is a stupid way to sell to me just how shitty tariffs are and were, right? What I'm a little more concerned about is this whole tariff potential refund situation that might not be going to us, the citizens who paid it. Like, I really don't care about the companies. I don't. And I also don't really, I know this is meant to be somewhat humorous. I just don't find the humor in you're getting f***ed over. Check out Arizona though, poor them, right? This is about all of us. Never forget that. We're about 3 lines deep into the first they came for poem. It's not a very long poem, folks. That is always true. Read that thing again and again and again and realize that nowhere along the line of oppression will you be safe. It always starts with something that you might disagree with, but it will get to you. It's kind of the same way that we keep banning things like because it's easy to morally object to prostitution or whatever. Gotta protect people from seeing sex. Ugh, icky, right? Sun exposure doesn't cause cancer. Sunscreen does. Roger, please confirm. The claim that sun exposure doesn't cause cancer, but
What?
sunscreen does is not supported by science. UV radiation from the sun damages skin cell DNA, increasing skin cancer risk, per the National Cancer Institute. And sunscreen helps prevent this. How do plants and animals survive without sunscreen? Well, you're kidding me, right? Please wear sunscreen. Some are better than others, though. You can look into that. Remember how proud we were in elementary school when they taught us that America was the melting pot and people came from all over the world for a better life? Yeah, me too. That was always the selling point to get the kids more patriotic, to make them feel more comfortable with pledging allegiance. We let everyone come here and try to live out their dreams. It just doesn't take long for you to realize that that's not really the case. I don't know if it ever really was. There was just, I don't know. I could ramble for a while. I've already taken too much time doing that, but I really hope that one day that can be true. One day. That's my naive hope, is that despite all of this bullshit, one day the United States can be what it was sold to me as a child. A place where I could meet anyone from anywhere at any time and learn about them and how things were back home before they came here.
Land of the free and home of the brave. Like I said, when it comes to whole society, I just really wish they fix a lot of the issues.
Why they came here, cool things about their culture and whatnot. Because I don't have any. I don't have any culture. The only thing I got is I really like Halloween. Not really a culture thing for me, is it? I got nothing. That's why I want to learn about yours. Anyway, draft MAGA first. You voted for it. You know, I've got to wonder, how hard would it be and how crazy would it be if we were like, look, if you voted for the party that voted on this and approved it, you will indeed be up for draft first. That's fair. You wanted this. Oh, you were lied to? No, you weren't. If things get bad in LA over the next few days, I hope the media remembers that these were peaceful, non-violent cities until militarized federal agents showed up. There were no burning cars 4 days ago. ICE shows up and they bring violence and horror with them. False flag events everywhere. We had to put up razor barbed wire because all of the Trump Christians thinking they were going to get in. Yeah. They're gonna try. Can you imagine that actually being a thing now? Beautiful. This! PBS didn't become woke, you grew up to be a bad person. Yeah, if you grew up watching Mr. Rogers in any capacity and turned out to vote for the things that we've got going on now, you...
Okay, we got Man School Bus, Bonnie, Sesame Street, Arthur. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know who these two people are. I don't know what that's back there.
never listened to Mr. Rogers. You never understood empathy. You didn't grow up to be a bad person. You were probably just one deep down inside almost the whole damn time. Okay, that's a little harsh. 9 times out of 10, it's because your parents, quote unquote, fixed it.
Yeah, thank you for so much for watching video. If you enjoyed my reaction, please hit the like, comment, subscribe for more videos like this. And all credit thanks to Emkay. Please go check him out. As for Digit Night, we'll get some coffee. Bye.